Hi friends, today I'm going to discuss about topic in Power BI. This is related to how to connect a SQL Server connection dynamically and create one small dashboard in a tabular using tabular visual. Basically, to do this exercise through Power Query Editor, we can use the mQuery language to write the code. So so to perform this activity, like I'm going to give a one brief introduction, what's the topic about it, already as I mentioned, but like then how to how to get into Power BI and launch a Power Query Editor. What are the things we need to do once we get into Power Query Editor. Then creating a dynamic SQL Server connection using one small function. Like inside the function, we are going to accept database, service, and host. Like using that function, like inside of it, like we are going to get the schema, table, and data information. And once it is defined, like how you are going to invoke it, and once we invoke and the individual data set, how you are going to retrieve it. Once all those setups is done, then we are going to close and apply, and we can ensure like the corresponding data models what we are choosing it to get the dashboard. That's something we are going to discuss. Then followed by we are building a small tabular visual using those data sets. So finally we'll demonstrate like the built-in visual how it's going to be usable. That's what. So let me quickly dive into the introduction. So I gave already the introduction about like what is this topic we are discussing, correct? Like so to give a brief idea, like through the mQuery language, this dynamical connection you are going to establish using SQL Server, correct? Like loading a multiple data set, like on a dimension table, date dimension, product dimension, and region dimension, and one small sales fact table I took as an example to demonstrate, like to. So this will establish the relationship for the data model. And finally we are going to give a tabular dashboard, right? So then the okay, let us try to the second step of launching the Power BI now. Okay. So I'm launching the Power BI now. So here I'm going to click a blank report. Okay, so here like I mentioned, so you have to click a transform data. So click transform data here. So once you hit a transform data option, like you will see the Power Query. You are already in the Power Query Editor to build your dynamic query query connection, correct? So like, okay, if you see here, so now the transform data open Power Query Editor. So we achieved it. Now let's move on to the step 3, like how to build a dynamic SQL Server connection. I already built a sample mQuery, so I'm not going to waste the time to rewrite everything. So it is already there. The only thing what I'm going to do is so part of this exercise. So if you go to so once inside the Power Query Editor, you have to click new source, and this is the blank query option. So here you need to hit a blank query option. So inside this, for once you get into this blank query option, you will see in the left hand side the query one, the default name, it will it will be created. Then you hit a advanced editor over the inside this advanced editor, whatever the Power Query script we have created, right? M function. So this M function, I'm going to copy the code. I'm going to paste it here. Simply, that's it. So basically, like I explained in the beginning, like it accepts 3 parameters, like server parameter, database parameter, and schema parameter, and it will return the table value. This is what this M function is going to help us. Like it will do the source connection. So this is the SQL database, is the safest connection. It will be recognized by Power BI service as well. Okay, then the next thing is it will keep only the table, like okay, table information what you wanted, that's the option about it. Then I'm going to we are going to filter the specific schema what we are interested in. There may be a different schema under the database, but if I want to look into one particular schema, for example sales schema, under that only I want to deal the dimension table and fact tables information, I can filter out the schema, and finally it will give the result. Okay, so this is about m function. So okay, the function is ready. Okay, once it is ready, I'm going to rename the function name. So default name it has given as query 1, right? I'm going to rename with get schema tables, okay, for readability purpose. Okay, so once this schema is ready, now the fourth step is to invoke the function. Okay, because like invoking as a function, we can get into the next step of creating each individual table. To do that exercise, what you are going to do, before doing that, we can define parameter. Okay, server parameter. Okay, I have a SQL Server. I'm going to use SQL Server, right? Like here, this is my server name. Okay, and the next parameters is database. Okay, database, or this is I'm using learning is my database here, and schema I will go as sales. Okay, and click OK. That's it, the parameters defined. Now the next step is like as mentioned in the document, we are going to invoke the function, correct? So let me right click. So okay, if you see here the function below, you will see the invoke option, correct? Hit a invoke option, but here what will happen, it will look for server information, right? Initially you give it as hard coded information. We can change it with a parameter defined. Okay, this one sales. Okay, you input all the information like whatever you define in the parameters and try to invoke it. Okay, once it is invoked, you see that like part of the function we are returning the schema information, name information, and name of the table information, and finally the data information we are going to return it. So that's what the function has returned, correct? So if you go to the advanced editor, and instead of whatever the hard-coded value, you can replace it with the parameter value what you have defined. Okay, that's a good practice to do it. Database, then schema is okay. Once you do that, hit OK button. Now here see, for example, I want to now the invoking option, we are how to do the invoke option I have explained you, correct? Now we are going to repeat this exercise for each table, but before doing that, what we are going to do is let us rename this function, the invoked function result as dim date, because we are going to do the dim date exercise, right? Like now I am going dim date data set, we are going to expand it. Okay, so I rename the invoke function. I am targeting the table data specific to dim date. I am hitting that. Okay, now you see that the dim date, the field information and field value like it written along with the additional information of fact sales also is coming up. So you can simply right click and remove it. Okay, that's it. This steps you need to follow it. Okay, now I'm going to, so dim date data set is ready. Now similarly I'm going to repeat this exercise for dim product now. Okay, I'm going to duplicate it, rename it, Okay, here now I'm going to remove the step here, remove this navigation step also. Okay, now I'm going to hit a table data. Again, now I don't want the fact sales, correct? Like I will remove this. That's it. Now dim product is ready. Okay, so the product information data it came up neat and clean. Now let's focus on the third dimensional object, dim region. Duplicate it, rename it. This and all I'm doing for readability purpose. Okay, now you have to go to the right hand side, remove the columns, navigation, these two steps we have to remove, apply steps you have to remove it. Now click on table data here and right click, remove this fact sales. Okay, now dim region is also ready. Now fourth and final one, the fact sales table, correct? So fact sales table, rename fact sales. Okay, so fact sales is okay, renamed it. Now remove the columns, navigation, and now the final table data related to fact sales, we are hitting it. Now if you go to the right hand side, you will see three associate dim, right, like dimension. So you are going to remove it. Okay, that's it. So now it's neat and clean, all data set is ready. Okay, so as I mentioned before, we define the schema. Okay, schema table function, m function. So inside the function, so we are accepting server database schema. Okay, and I have parameters also for maintenance, easy maintenance, because like for each function we no need to type in manually. Once you invoke the first time, you can start duplicating it and apply get the data and remove the unwanted additional data sets coming up, whatever related, correct? Like for example, dim date related to fact sales, product related to fact sales, and region related to fact sales, and fact sales related to all three. So all this related at the end, that data sets we are removing it and keeping the data specific to each data set. And now all this exercise about fourth step, invoking function and each data set arrangement, everything we have made it very neat and clean, right? Now let's do close and apply the fifth step. Okay, now it will apply the changes, like whatever the changes we made it, it's going to apply it in the, okay, and it will fit into the data in the right hand side once it is settled properly, correct? Just give it a few minutes. It will not take more than 2-3 minutes. It's very small data set anyway. Okay, perfect. So you can see that dim date, dim product, dim region and fact sales settled properly. Now if you go back again to the check data model as a sixth step, correct, to see the model view, how it's look like now. You see that? So if you see here in the data model, I'm going to minimize, I'm going to zoom out. So now from here, if you see here the arrangement, the fact table is the centric one and it's neatly arranged with all the 3 dimensions table. It's properly arranged. The region key related to fact sales as a foreign key, and date key as a sitting with foreign key as in a factual for granularity purpose, and product table product key is settled with product key. This is how it's related each other, but this is the measured data, everything you will look into it from fact sales table. Okay, that's it. Okay, so this is about the data model and its corresponding relationship about the step 6. Now creating a tablet dashboard. This is the interesting step we are going to discuss. Now let me go to report view section. I'm going to bring one small table visual here, but before to that, let me change the wallpaper. color to something. Okay, so now let me product name, region name, okay, then the quantity. Okay, if you want to keep the date, okay, so this is the 7th step. Like this is small dashboard for just for demonstration. It's not having much data, but for gadget C year 2025, so like for quarter 2 I have in June month, so this is the quantity I have, and widget A 2025 I have quarter 2 the same way I have June. Like similarly, like this is a matrix visual, like I have given for our easy presentation. So this is the breakdown you can see for east, north, south and west region, and put together what is the total. So this is the step 2. So this is what the final demonstration, how it look like after finishing the 7th dashboard. Okay, so this is how we can build one dynamic function. Okay, so like if I go back to the topic, so Dynamic SQL Server Connection, how we can build it using the M query. Okay, inside the Power Query Editor we saw that, correct? Like, and how to parameterize and how to do that, everything we saw that. Okay, so so this is about this topic what we discussed. Like, if you have any other questions related to this topic, feel free to reach me out. I'm happy to answer your questions. Thanks for watching my video. Please subscribe my channel. Thank you.